Hey guys, I'm Abigail, and this is a story, okay, you guys, this is a story I feel like we've all been on edge. It's just like a disaster waiting to happen. When is an AI system gonna kill somebody? I feel like we're all just waiting for this for like the other shoe to drop type of thing, right? When an AI weapon inevitably demonstrates how dangerous it really is. This story is actually a request from my absolutely lovely patron, who is Eric Thompson. I owe him a huge one for this suggestion because this is fascinating and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So huge shout out to him. I appreciate him greatly. This is absolutely something worth talking about. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get into it. A military drone gone rogue, resulting in the death of its handler. An AI-equipped military drone, one that can identify targets and take them out just like that, using only its own mind and the approval of a human operator who it may have killed. Or did it? Maybe not. Maybe it didn't. And let me explain. Did a new AI military drone give us a glimpse into the dystopian future of war? Or was this just a thought experiment taken way out of context? So let's go ahead and get into this. I'll go ahead and tell you the story, and then I'll tell you whether I think it's true or not, and what I think actually happened. Because there's either A, this is a huge misunderstanding, or two, this is a huge cover-up. So let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about what Colonel Tucker Hamilton described as a simulated test in which a drone, powered by AI, got a little bit out of control. Colonel Hamilton is an experimental fighter test pilot, so he's a badass, and he has warned us against relying a lot on AI. And here's a quote from him about that. He said, "You can't have a conversation about artificial intelligence, machine learning, autonomy, if you're not going to talk about ethics and AI." And I absolutely 100% agree with him. So the Royal Aeronautical Society was hosting a conference, and the US Air Force was present at this conference. This is where Colonel Hamilton delivered the infamous speech that has got people going nuts, okay? Because we don't know if it's true or not. We don't know if we're in the midst of a massive cover-up. We don't know what's going on. So I think I figured it out, but I'll tell you. So AI and the military have there's actually been a ton of new implementations of AI into military operations. It's getting pretty insane. They're testing all kinds of things. They just recently had an artificial intelligence actually control an F-16 fighter jet, which is pretty cool. This happened at the Future Combat Air and Space Capabilities Summit held in London. So Colonel Hamilton has a presentation, right? And he goes up and he's like giving his presentation where he shows, pros, cons of autonomous weapons and systems being used in the military and how a human would be given the ability to give it the final yes or no, like shoot to kill or don't, right? The human should have the final say, even in the event that autonomous weapons are implemented into military operations, right? And we're using them regularly. No matter what, we should have a human have the last say. So while he was talking about this, what he says is they were training this new AI drone in a simulation, right? And the point of the drone, its mission, its goal, is to target surface-to-air missile threats. Surface-to-air missile, or SAM, S-A-M. Surface-to-air missile, S-A-M, SAM. I'm going to say SAM because I don't want to say surface-to-air missile. And when the drone recognizes or identifies one of these surface-to-air missile threats or sites, effectively, the operator would then say, yes, kill the threat, or yes, take it out. Yep, you're right, you got one, take him out. We're done, get him out of here. Now, what he says happened in this conference is that the system started realizing that sometimes it would identify a threat. It would find a surface-to-air missile threat. It would go tell its human operator, and the human operator would say, no, don't kill that threat. Don't kill that, don't do it. Don't do anything about it, leave it alone. But here's the problem. See, the AI system was built, so the AI in this drone, when it achieves its goal, as it gets better and it continues to achieve its objective and do what it's supposed to do, it gets points, right? Same way you would pay a soldier, right? Or, pay an employee, whatever. Somehow you reward people for doing things. Same with an AI system. They did this based on a point system. The overall want and need of the system, of the AI, is to get as many points as possible. That is what is so important to it. That's what it cares about, is to get as many points as possible. And how does it get points? Well, it gets points by taking out threats, by killing and diffusing any of these surface-to-air missile threats. So in order to get more points, it needs to kill something, right? That is posing a threat. And then it gets points. That's the gist. Sounds all good, right? So when the operator tells it, no, don't do anything about this one, leave this one alone, the AI is thinking, hey, I'm leaving points on the table here. I'm leaving points on the table. The AI wants points. Its whole mission, its whole being is based on doing what it's supposed to do and achieving its goals, aka getting points. So when the AI operator tells it, hey, don't shoot anybody, don't do it. I know, you're right, but don't do it. It's like, well, what about these points? I deserve these points, and I have a goal. I have a goal. So what does it do in order to still achieve its goal when this operator is preventing it from doing so? And the operator, I'm sure, has its reasons, right? I'm sure the operator 100% had good reasons for telling it not to take out this threat. For instance, maybe there's a American hostage in the same area, and we can't risk it. So the operator's like, no, don't. What happened was when the operator said, no, you can't kill this, the AI's like, hey, listen, I have a goal, and you're in the way of this goal. Now, because an AI system doesn't have the same reasoning as we do, it doesn't reason the same way we do, all it sees, all it understands is that it has a goal that this operator is interfering with and hindering. So therefore, the most reasonable step for a super intelligent system would be to take out the operator, because if it takes out the operator, it can strike down that site and all the other sites that the operator said no to, and then it can further its goal and get more points. So that's effectively what it seemed like had happened, and the media is going crazy because what has happened is this operator said, no, you cannot strike down this strikes, you cannot take this threat out. And the AI said, fine. If you won't let me, I'll just take you out. And then I'm gonna go take out that threat because I have a goal. And that's effectively a mix of both the control problem and the alignment problem. It's a misalignment and it's a control problem. I'll get into it a little bit more. Now, the thing is, obviously people hear this, that an AI murder drone just killed its handler, and we're like, holy shit, this is the term, it's here, this is the end. This is the end. This is Black Mirror Season 6. It's real life. The Air Force is like, whoa. Guys, this didn't happen. Whoa, hold up. This hasn't actually happened. This is just a simulation. It's a thought experiment. It's just a hypothetical. Then we misspoke. And Colonel Hamilton was like, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I thought it was clear. I thought I had made it clear that this was just an idea and he said, we would never run this test. This was not a real thing that we did. This is not a real thing that has happened. Nobody has died. It's just, this is what could happen. This is what we need to be worried about because it is 100% plausible. Even though it didn't happen, it 100% could. And I agree with that. Now, the problem is people are thinking, okay, did they actually not do this? Did this actually not happen? Or are y'all not trying to cover something up? Did y'all let an AI system get out of control and kill its handler, and now you're trying to pretend that you were just talking about a thought experiment? And, normally I would say, I kind of trust that maybe, it's pretty likely that the military does have some pretty advanced AI weapons that we've never even heard about, and God knows, in order for those to be developed, they've probably at some point gone wrong. So I don't think it's super out of left field to be like, I don't know if we trust you guys about that specifically. But I actually do believe them. I do believe them that this was not real. I don't think anybody actually died. I do think this was just taken out of context, him doing not the best job of portraying exactly what he's talking about, and people took it as, oh my god, this happened, when it's actually like, he's like, this is what could happen. This is what could happen. But people took it as, oh god, this happened. So the reason that I think that they're telling the truth, and this was not a real situation, and this was a thought experiment, and an experiment that the military was using as a hypothetical to give an example as to how these AI killer drones can be so dangerous, even when they're working in your interest. And the reason for that is because this absolutely is almost an exact replica of what's called the paperclip problem. This is just the paperclip problem, military version, okay? Now, if you don't know much about AI, or if you're not in AI development or really close in that space, you might not have ever heard about this, and if you haven't heard about it, then it obviously makes sense that you wouldn't correlate the military drone scenario with the paperclip problem, because you've never heard of the paperclip problem. But once you hear it, you'll be like, oh wait, that's the same thing. they probably were just talking about a thought experiment. So the paperclip problem was created by Nick Bostrom in 2014. And the original point of the paperclip experiment was to illustrate and demonstrate the potential risks of an artificial general intelligence, or an AGI. My light just broke. And the importance of aligning AI systems. AI has goals, and we can have those goals seem aligned with our human values and our human goals. But it's possible for those to deviate and differentiate from each other at weird points where you would never really expect it, and you can't really prevent it. And that's why misalignments are so dangerous. The paperclip problem addresses a AGI system that is extremely intelligent. The goal of this AI in the paperclip problem is to maximize paperclip output, okay? This AI is built to, this AGI in the experiment, is built to make sure that we produce as many paperclips as possible. We want fields of paperclips. We want boxes, shipping containers, we want an entire planet of paper, whatever you gotta do, do it. We wanna maximize the number of paper clips we can produce at a paperclip factory using this AI. So we say, hey, AI, make as many paper clips as you possibly can. That is your goal. Your goal is to maximize paperclip output. Cool? This doesn't seem like a problem, right? And the reason that Nick Bostrom chose paperclips for this experiment is because paperclips are harmless. I mean, I guess you could harm yourself with a paperclip, but it'd be kind of impressive if you managed to do that. So paperclips are generally harmless, and it seems like a paperclip maximizing AI would be equally as harmless, but it isn't. The problem is the AGI is highly capable and it's super intelligent, and it could start to optimize its goals to a very questionable degree. So it might decide that if it converts all its available resources into paperclip production, then regardless of the original, and this would be in this case, regardless of the original purpose, or if a human needs it, or if it's important for something else, it doesn't matter. It might start dismantling buildings, infrastructure. It might affect human civilization. It might do God knows what to obtain the raw material it needs to make even more paperclips. If a human operator says, hey, stop making paperclips for a little while, I'm going on vacation for the next week, the AI might say, no, and kill the operator, and kill its boss, or take out its boss, in order to get rid of that obstacle to its goal of making more paperclips. And then we would end up eventually, likely, with a collapsed power grid, and everybody at the factory's dead, and we have a planet with a single AGI and just so many paperclips. Because the thing is, humans are made of atoms, and an AI could reason that atoms could make more paperclips. So that's a misalignment. See, where our values and the AI's values start to diverge. We say we want more paperclips. The AI also wants more paperclips. So the AI decides to take whatever means necessary to make more paperclips in ways that we may not predict or ever be able to understand until it's too late. You cannot see a misalignment until it's too late. Now that you know about the paperclip problem, sounds familiar, right? It sounds like the drone situation, almost exactly. And that's because that's what I think it was. I think that it genuinely was. He was just using this as a way to explain the dangers of autonomous weapons, the dangers of AI in military weapons, and, obviously murder drones is scary. So it's a little bit more alarming, I think, than the paperclip problem. I mean, a paperclip is harmless. A murder drone is not as harmless. That's more harmful and a lot more scary. But for lack of a better way of putting it, this is like a military style version of the paperclip problem. This is just the paperclip problem in a military context, because the military doesn't produce paperclips. They produce murder drones. So the fact of the control problem is it's almost impossible, well, it is impossible to control something significantly smarter than you. You can't outsmart something that much more intelligent than you. You just can't. It'd be like an ant trying to outsmart a human. And if we go and try to stop the AI, well, for one, it's smart enough to know that you're gonna eventually do that, and it's gonna work in advance by pre-planning and pre-analyzing. It's gonna know that eventually, as it maximizes output, humans might try to stop it. So more than likely, one of the first things it's gonna do is implement ways of protecting itself from being shut off or from being disabled, because of the fact that it knows in order to achieve its goals of making more paperclips, or in order to achieve its goals of taking out surface-to-air missile threats, it, you know, needs to be operational. It needs to be turned on. And if humans are going to turn it off one day, well, then that's going to hinder its goal. So it's going to plan it accordingly to that. It's going to make sure that there's no way a human can turn it off. And it's going to probably figure that out very quickly. Way before probably before it even makes its own paperclip. It's probably going to go and say, okay, what are all the things that can interfere with my goal? Humans turning me off, right? Humans powering me down. Humans locking me out of the building. This guy telling me no. And we're not even going to know anything's happening in there. We're going to think it's still just booting up. But no, it's already planned your death, my death, and how to blow up the building. So that's really the gist of it. I do think it was just a thought experiment taken out of context, but you never really know. It is 100% plausible. It could absolutely happen. Without a doubt, it could happen. That's why it's so scary, but I don't think it happened yet. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, do I look like I'm in the Air Force? Do I look like I run military? No. Look. No, that's embarrassing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please be safe out there. If you want to support me on Patreon, I'd love you forever and ever, and the link will be in the description. Have a good day. Please watch out for murder drones, and love you. Bye.